Hello everyone, welcome to today's session of Certified Ethical Hacking. Everyone able to hear my voice and able to see the screen? Let me know in the live chat. Everyone? Okay, so today we are going to start our module number 8, which is sniffing. Okay, as we have completed total 7 modules, now we'll be moving to 8th module. Okay, practically we have completed more than 7 modules because we also had some practical on system hacking and some other type of activities also. So it's more than 7 module. But right now we are covering our sniffing module. Okay, we all know what is sniffing, so we'll be looking into this module. Okay, so directly we'll be starting our practical for this sniffing because you already know the basic definition of sniffing, what is the meaning of sniffing, and what can we do using sniffing. So directly we'll be starting with the practical. Basically, in sniffing we use different sort of tools, but primarily we use Cane Enable and Wireshark. Okay, Wireshark is used for cracking out the passwords whatever received over the internet by sniffing the data of the packets, and the Cane Enable is used to also do the same. But we cannot crack passwords using Cane Enable, but using Wireshark we can do that. Okay, so the first thing we'll be going with is Cane Enable. Okay, so Cane Enable we can easily download from the website and just install it, and it's also available in the toolset folder whichever is provided by our team. So let us first of all, let me show you all how you can download Cane Enable. The first website, filehorse.com. Just visit filehorse.com, and from here you can download. Okay, this Cane Enable. Click on this button and just download it. It's total 7.9 MB only. Okay, so let us install this Cane Enable. As I already downloaded it, click on that. Let us wait for this one to open. Sometime your system may detect as it has virus. So first of all, switch off your any antivirus if it's active and disable your Windows Defender. Then only you can install. Run anyway. Yes. Initializing installation wizard. Click on next, 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 next. Finish it. Now it will ask you to install the WinCap, WinPCap 14.1.3, as I'm already having this driver right now, but the basic, the oldest version I'm having. So let us install this. Okay, so this version of Windows is not supported WinPCap 14.1.3. Okay, so let us go with the default WinPCap, which I'm already having in the system. And right now it's installed. Let us try to open it. Yes. And one more thing, if the firewall is enabled, you may find out some issues because firewall may block some connections. So you need to make sure that your firewall is disabled. Okay. Now this is the software. As you can see, it's having Windows 7 user interface because it's not meant for Windows 10 and all. Because the latest the version is, the less you can do with the cyber security activities and all. So we always have to use some older version of every software and every operating system. Now we are in this uh, dashboard. Let's go back to our module and see what we need to do. So as this is open, okay, let us first of all have a discussion about what type of options we are here. These are the decoders. Suppose whenever we start these sniffing activities, we will be uh, logging out each and every packets which is being transferred over the internet. Okay, by sitting in a uh, network as a man in the middle attack. Now, after getting those packets and all, the software automatically detects some useful stuff and categorizes based on these type of categories, such as cached passwords, protected storage, LSA secrets, wireless passwords, IE passwords, Windows mail passwords, dial-up, edit box, enterprise credentials, Windows Vault. These type of informations it can filter. Okay. Generally, the websites who don't have the SSL certificate, those who work on HTTP rather than HTTPS, they can be scanned using this software, and whatever the data is being transmitted over the network, you can find out here. Okay. Let us go back to our module. Now the first thing is to configure your software. So to configure your software, click on here and you will be able to see lots of adapters here. You need to select your adapter, whatever adapter you are having currently, so that you can proceed with the network scanning thing. Okay. Okay, due to WinPCAP issue, I'm not getting my original adapter here. Let us select our VMware one. This one, apply, and okay. Now your adapter is already configured. Now we can start the poisoning activity, which means sniffing activity. Okay, just come here, click on start and stop sniffer. Stop sniffer. Click on this start/stop sniffer. Click here. Now the sniffer is started. Now we need to follow some steps. After clicking on start sniffer, we need to go to the sniffer tab here. We will be seeing our device here, but right now we are not having that particularly. Because of the MAC address, sorry, the WinPCAP. So you will be seeing your device here. Okay, the network adapter. Now after getting network adapter, you need to right click on it, or you can click on it and click on plus, this plus icon. Here is a plus icon. Now here you need to select all hosts in my subnet. Okay, whatever the hosts are there, you need to click on all hosts in my subnet, so that it can scan the whole particular IP addresses available in your range. Click on OK. Or it will scan the whole host from IP addresses 0.0.0.02 255.255.255.255. So it will take a lot of time. Let us cancel this, as you already have a lot of. Now after doing this, we need to navigate to our APR section. In this APR section, we will be seeing our whole subnet database, from where we need to click on plus icon, and we can see the host is empty here. After clicking that, we will be getting our IP address of our adapter. Okay, just select the adapter IP addresses and click OK, and then you can just click on start ARP poisoning. Now after starting the ARP poisoning, you will be receiving a pop-up here that to allow this one. Now after you allow, it will start scanning the whole subnet. Based on the details you can find out here, passwords you can find out, everything you'll be getting here, or here also. In the network also you can get, or in this decoder also you can get. Okay, so here you will be getting each and every data of the particular host, with the packets being sent and packets being received, with the MAC address and the IP address and the status. Okay, just use the password tab in order to find out uh, if there are passwords being transmitted over the connection or not. Okay, clear to everyone this Kane enable practical? This is all in the Kane enable. Now, based on the things whatever you are receiving here, you can just filter it out: FTP, HTTP, IMAP, LDAP, POP3, SMB, Telnet, VNC, TDS, TNS, SMTP, NNDP, DSE, radius keys, radius users, ICQ, SNMP. All these things you can find out here based on the categories filtration process. Clear to everyone? So this is all about the Kane enable. Now, this is a tool which is not available with me right now, but let me explain you about this. This is a SMAC tool, spoofing MAC addresses. As you all know that using a proxy can help you in order to mask your identity. Okay, using which you can just hide out yourself and can able to protect yourself from getting caught. Okay, just like that, we also have a tool which can be used for spoofing MAC address. If your MAC address is there, suppose if you have changed your IP address and someone is able to find out your MAC address, then it's possible that you will be getting caught. Now, if you spoof a MAC address also, then if someone able to find out your IP address, then also there is no issue because no one knows your MAC address. They can easily detect your location by using the IP address, but you can just move out to someone else place, someone somewhere else, but your MAC address won't be visible to anyone because you have spoofed a MAC address, a demo MAC address or a fake MAC address. So using SMAC, you can do that. Just download this SMAC 2.0 tool. Okay, just start it, initialize the installation, proceed it. That's all. Now, whatever the MAC address you want to enter here, just enter the new spoof MAC address and proceed or restart the adapter. The MAC address will be changed. Okay. You can also select random from here. Just click on the random button. You will get a random MAC address and then just restart the adapter. Okay. By selecting those the different options. Now, by restarting the adapter, your MAC address will be changed and no one else will be able to find out what's your real MAC address is. Clear to everyone? That was it about the SMAC, the MAC address spoofing technique. Let us go with our Wireshark. How many of you know about Wireshark here? Anyone? Okay. Let us install our Wireshark first of all. Basically, Wireshark is a password sniffing tool. Based on the packets sniffed over the network, Wireshark can be used for sniffing the passwords being transmitted over the network. Let us install the Wireshark. Yes. Next. Now it's installed. Let us start our Wireshark. You can see here, I also disabled the real-time protection in order to have the practical, because the softwares are not dangerous. You just need to go through it. Okay. Here we are with our Wireshark. Now our Wireshark is open. Now let's maximize it. You can see there are lots of adapters. You can just select the adapter, whichever you are having. Just let us go back to this one. We get to Wireshark. Just select your this one. Double click on that, and now you can see all those packets being transferred over the internet. Okay, I'm currently in my hotel where I'm using IP at a Wi-Fi, and you can see here there are lots of connections here. It's currently going and going and going. Sometimes from 121 IP address, sometimes from 134. You can see here. Okay. So whatever the connections being sent over the internet, you can just capture it. Okay. Just you can see here the capture is already started. Now you can just suppose someone just used some websites and gave their details. What you can do is just stop capturing, go to file, save as, captured. Just save the file. Okay. Now you can just uh, create a dump here. Yes, here is the option. Just click on edit and edit packet. Sorry, find packet, and then we can just filter all the information, whatever you want to filter. Suppose someone did something on Facebook, we can just find out by typing Facebook. If it's there, it will be visible, and then we can see the clear text here in this data field. Suppose some data is shared, you can just see there. Let us click on each and everything. These are the data which is being sent. As I'm hosting a class, this is the data which is being sent over the internet for the live session. Click on this. This is the data. Suppose let us go to a website. What was that? Moviescope.com. Moviescope.com. Okay, what was that? So the website is not available. Let us try to enter something on some other websites. Try to enter on Google something. Gmail. Let us send it. Okay, sorry, the capture was not going on. Just clear all those things. Start capturing packets. To start capturing, do something on Google. Google.com, Gmail. The capture is going on. Stop this. Click on edit, find packet. Google is there. Okay, I think it's not captured. We can find out our Google logs here. Okay, whatever we perform the search operation, we can find out here, and we will be able to see the Gmail term. String. Google, we are able to find out where is that. Gmail also we are having. Okay, so this is the use of Wireshark here. We can just find out all the details which can be shared over the network. Okay, whatever details we want. So I hope it's clear. Let us come to this next topic. What is after Wireshark? Now after having the practical on Wireshark and this what we say, the Kane enable, just like that we are also having multiple tools, and one of the multiple tools are CAPTCHA network analyzer. Just like Wireshark and Kane enable, it is also used for sniffing the packets and analyzing the data which is being sent over the internet or the local area connection or the wide area network. So CAPTCHA is the tool. Now, just like them, we also have one more software to do these things, which is so not a software but a technique detecting ARP poisoning in a switch-based network. Now, using Kane enable and Wireshark, we can perform those things in any network. But there is also a kind of network which is known as switch-based network. Now, how to detect ARP poisoning in a switch-based network? If someone is doing sniffing or not, someone is poisoning the network or not, the simple kind of poisoning is ARP poisoning. Just like we are doing in Kane enable. To detect that, how to use, what to do? Well, suppose in the Kane enable, we are doing the ARP poisoning, all those same steps, same things, sniffer, adding the subnet, selecting the subnet, MAC address, and then the last doing the ARP poisoning. Now we started the ARP poisoning, and it will start poisoning the whole network. And whenever we'll be able to find out something, it will be printed here, the passwords or the whatever we want to find out. Now, Kane enable is intercepting the network traffic between two machines, okay, or whatever the machines are connected in the network. Now let us switch to the Kali and just ping the IP address using the hping3. It will start sending the packets, demo packets, and it will be caught in the Kane enable. After sending the packets, let us start the Wireshark. okay, to capture the packets. Now, in the Wireshark, we are having an option that ARP RARP detection. Now, if we check on this and click OK, it will start scanning for the network, and if it is able to find out the ARP poisoning, then you can see here that the connections are being poisoned using someone sitting in the network. You can see the red one here. Why we use the Kali Linux? Just to send a demo traffic using the hping3 command. Okay, click it everyone. So using hping3, we are sending the network over the particular machine so that the enable could return some data, and it must poison all those data by using ARP poisoning. To just verify whether it's being poisoned or not, we are using Wireshark. In Wireshark, we just configured our packet detection by selecting the detecting ARP also, ARP requests also. Click OK, and we'll start scanning for the ARP poisoned packets also, and we can see here. And to verify, you can just go back to the enable and you can see the traffics which are being received, it's working or not. So we can clearly see it's working, and these are the poisoned packets. Now, as we are able to find out using Wireshark that our traffic is being poisoned using ARP poisoning, same type of thing we can also perform using ZARP tool. Okay, ZARP tool is a tool which can be used for detecting the ARP attacks. If you are having an ARP attack on your server, whether it's being poisoned or not, if someone is trying to carry out ARP attack on your server, you can also find out here. Okay, just download the ZARP 2.2.2 setup. Each and every software which I am here discussing about is already given in the direct particular tools which we have given to you. Okay, just go to the tool folder directory of 8th module. Under sniffing, you will be able to find out all these tools. So just download and install the ZARP tool, and ZARP tool by logging in it, just select the the network adapter of yours. Okay, now by starting the particular ZARP software on particular network adapter, let us test this one now. Go back to Kenable, configure the network, start the ERP, and just go back to the ZARP tool. We will be seeing that ZARP will be sending you alerts that there is a connection coming from some network, and there is a person sitting behind the network that is poisoning the whole network. Okay, using ZARP we can do that. So this is it for the sniffing part. Yes, it was very short session because in sniffing there is not very much thing. We will be also using the same tools in the wireless networks also, where we will be trying to crack passwords of our wireless network, such as Wi-Fi passwords using Wireshark, such as we will try to decrypt the data which is being sent over the internet or in our local area or wide area. All these things we will be doing. So clear to everyone? Any confusion, any doubts? Because no one is responding, so I am just continuing the class so that those who missed can also watch this as the recording session. But I think 2 users are here present. If you have any confusion, you can let me know in the live chat. Or this is it about today's session. Okay, so this is it. No one is responding, so I'm finishing out this session. The recording will be uploaded after the session ends. So thank you everyone for your patience. Have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.